You get hurt on the job, or you get diagnosed with cancer, or your heart gives out after 20 years of running into burning buildings. You file a workers' comp claim and the city denies it. That happens every single day to firefighters across this country. Not because the claim wasn't valid, because the firefighter didn't know the system, didn't document right, and didn't have the right people in their corner. Today, we fix that. This is everything you need to know about workers' comp before you ever need it. Workers' compensation is the system that pays you when you get hurt or sick because of your job. Medical bills, lost wages, permanent disability, and if the worst happens, death benefits for your family. For most workers, it's a straightforward injury system. For firefighters, it's something much bigger because our job doesn't just break bones. It gives us cancer, it destroys our hearts, it wrecks our lungs, and the effects don't always show up the next day. Sometimes they show up 15 years later. The system was built knowing that, but you have to know how to use it. Here's the most important thing in this entire video, and most firefighters don't even know it exists. It's called the presumptive law, and it is the single biggest legal protection you have outside of your pension. Here's what it means in plain language. For most workers, if they get sick, they have to prove their job caused it. They need medical studies, expert witnesses, documented exposure records. It's expensive, it's slow, and most people lose. Firefighters are different. In most states, if you develop certain conditions, cancer, heart disease, respiratory disease, PTSD, the law already assumes it came from the job. You don't have to prove it. The burden flips to your employer to prove it wasn't job related. As of 2026, all 50 states have presumptive laws covering firefighters and cancer. Most also cover heart disease and respiratory conditions. PTSD presumptions are expanding rapidly. Multiple states added or strengthened them in 2024 and 2025. Now, here's the catch, and this is important. Most states include what's called a rebuttable clause. That means the city, the department, or their insurance carrier can push back. They can argue the condition came from something else, your lifestyle, your family history, a pre-existing condition. The classic example, a firefighter gets cancer, but he smoked for 10 years. The employer's insurance company will point straight at those cigarettes and say the job had nothing to do with it. That's why a presumptive law is powerful, but it is not a guarantee. You still have to fight, and you have to fight smart. Let's talk about what the system actually pays for, because most firefighters dramatically underestimate this. Medical bills, everything related to your injury or illness, doctor visits, surgery, rehab, prescriptions, specialist care, mental health treatment. You should never be paying out of pocket for anything that happened because of this job. Lost wages. If you can't work, workers' comp replaces your income. The standard in most states is 2/3 of your regular wage, and it's tax-free. But here's something worth knowing. In some states like California, firefighters are entitled to their full salary for up to 1 year, not just 2/3. Know what your state provides. That difference in monthly income is significant. Permanent disability. If your injury or illness leaves you with a lasting limitation, partial or total, you may be entitled to ongoing payments for the rest of your life based on the severity of that disability. Death benefits. If a firefighter dies in the line of duty or from a covered occupational disease, their family receives survivor benefits, burial costs, ongoing income replacement, and in many states, continued health coverage. Your family should never be financially destroyed because you did your job, all right? Here's exactly what to do. Write this down. Step 1, report it immediately. Most states require you to report within 30 days, some as few as 10. Missing that window can kill your claim entirely, even a legitimate one. Even if you're not sure it's serious, report it. Get it on record that same shift if you can. Step 2, document everything. Date, time, what happened, what fire or incident you were at, who witnessed it. For occupational illness, cancer, heart disease, document your years of service, the types of fires you've worked, chemical exposures, any prior physicals showing you were healthy. Your career history is your evidence. Step 3, Get medical care from an approved provider. The workers' comp system has networks. Going outside that network without authorization can seriously complicate your claim. Follow the process even when it's frustrating. Step 4, file the formal claim. Your department has the form. Fill it out completely, be accurate, and keep a copy of everything, every form, every medical record, every letter, every email. Build a paper trail from day one. Step 5, call your union rep before you do anything else. Actually, make that step 1. Your union rep has seen this process. They know the landmines. They know which doctors, which forms, which deadlines matter in your department. That call costs you nothing and could save your entire claim. Step 6, get an attorney the moment it gets complicated. More on that in a minute. Here's the honest truth about what this process actually looks like. It's slow. Workers' comp claims take weeks to months for an initial decision. If it's disputed, it can stretch to a year or more. Patience is not optional, it's required. Expect pushback on occupational illness claims. A broken leg on a fire scene is usually straightforward. Cancer, heart disease, and PTSD claims get fought hard because the dollar amounts are large and the insurance carrier's job is to pay out as little as possible. Don't take it personally, prepare for it. At some point, you may be sent to what's called an independent medical examination, or IME. The insurance company sends you to their own doctor. Understand this clearly, that doctor works for them, not you. Their report will likely minimize your condition or dispute the job connection. That is their purpose. Do not go alone. Have your attorney or union rep prepare you. And if you get denied, do not quit. A denial is not the end. Many firefighters win on appeal. The system counts on you not knowing that or not having the energy to fight back. Fight back. This section might be the most practical thing in this video. You need a workers' comp attorney who specializes in first responders, not a general personal injury lawyer, not someone who handles fender benders and slip and falls on the side, someone who knows presumptive law, knows how fire departments fight claims, and has won cases like yours before. And here's exactly how to find one: through your association or union. That is the safest, most reliable path. Your local union is your first call. Most locals have a vetted attorney or law firm they've worked with for years. They know your department, they know your city's legal team, and they've already handled cases in your system. Your state firefighter association maintains referral lists specifically for this. Every state has one. Use it. The IAFF, the International Association of Firefighters at IAFF.org, has national resources and can point you toward qualified legal help wherever you are. For cancer claims specifically, the Firefighter Cancer Support Network at firefightercancersupport.org has legal guidance and resources built around occupational cancer cases. 3 rules when hiring an attorney. 1, they work on contingency. That means they don't get paid unless you win. You should never pay money up front for a workers' comp attorney. If someone asks for a retainer, walk away. 2, they know your state's laws. Workers' comp is state law. An attorney who handles cases in Florida may not know the nuances of your state's presumptive statutes. State-specific experience matters. 3, never use an attorney recommended by your department or their insurance carrier. Their loyalty is not to you. Get your own representation. You spent 10, 15, 20, 25 years running into burning buildings. You breathed the smoke. You absorbed the chemicals. You carried the weight of this job on your body and in your mind. The workers' comp system exists because of what this job does to people like us, but it does not run itself. You have to know your rights. You have to document from day one. You have to lean on your union. And when it gets contested, and it might, you have to have the right people fighting with you. Knowledge is the protection. That's what this channel is built on. Drop a comment below. Tell me where you are, what you've dealt with, or what questions you still have. I read every one. Subscribe if you haven't, and check the description for the free guide on first responder financial planning. See you on the next one.